Good afternoon, viewers. We begin with developments in Nigerians' fight against terrorism. But before that, Senate President Godswill Akpabio commented on the KB schoolgirls abduction incident, saying there is no society without crime, adding that even countries like the United States face crime daily. His remarks have sparked criticism, with human rights groups describing them as insensitive and downplaying the trauma faced by the victims. Let's take a look at the video.
For every Nigerian might say, because me will not be affected by this bandit thing. I can't see the fear police for year different inside my town. Country just they go rubbishly. Presidents we get country, we they in charge of country. They travel like saying an artist. They say your country not they safe if they travel. Senate president open man just say there's always a crime in society. Now this kind of crime with the people that they go church go kill people. Where they go church go see old woman they run for her life. They just say when they talk about country, they talk about country. Nobody feel they travel through road again. People will get airports, will get plane. They increase flight tickets. They make life difficult for everybody. So make everybody see they use road not they safe. Now what you I mean? Everything an advantage for now. People when they do all this, when they watch all these things, when they see them online, when they go for all those like deport all the police, carry everybody go fight this war. Make they leave us with the town alone. Sure. Now not if they do anything, not if they protect us. Now person will come online, come talk. Now that one will be fine. Doctor say DSS, if you talk about the president, DSS go. Now DSS now jobless parts for this full country.
Something is going to happen. I wake up this morning, I see a video in Kwara State, of a church. I'm seeing old women who, and there are people behind this. You know, we've said things like, oh, let the government. I don't even know if there's a government. I don't even know if that's the right person to call. It doesn't make any sense because if I'm feeling this way, waking up every morning and seeing such happen in the news, it's like I wake up, it's bad news. If I'm feeling this way every time, and then we are shouting the government, are they not seeing? There's committee that they open a new committee, they investigate. We've never gotten any result from any investigation. Why is it Nigeria? I was in Ghana recently. I saw the queue of a lot of people, young people that were trying to join the military because they want, I think it's because they need a job. Not because there's insecurities to fight. I'm not hearing anything from Togo. I'm not hearing anything from neighboring countries. Why is it Nigeria? Why is it the youth? Why is it the young ones? Why is it the helpless kids?
Such a sad video. Now, in that same vein, Very Dark Man took to the street yesterday with posters boldly reading, "Bring back our girls." Let's take a look.
You did everything. You talk against the government. You talk against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan regime. And then when you decided to become the president, we were happy because we thought you knew what you were doing. But apparently you don't know what you are doing. All we ask now is for you to bring back those girls and stop the killing. Also, if you go further, you see, stop the killing and stop the kidnapping. It's too much. Nigerian youth, you have to understand that if the government are not going to defend our land for us, it's time for us to get our own arms. You can get your cutlass and protect your land. There's no monopoly in killing. We are all killers. We just have to start. And very, very soon, we will have to start.
Sad. So sad. You know, this video, the first video we watched, Tobe was actually crying out, saying that the only time you see DSS, you see the military men running helter-skelter is when it has to do with people like Yahoo Boy or fraudsters and the rest of them. But when it's time to protect the lives of people, that all of them scare away. And it's so sad. Kunle Remi, on the other hand, was trying to say that every time he wakes up as a Nigerian is more like bad news here and there, that why is it that there is no peace, and why is it that the government are not doing anything? It's as if we don't have any government present in Nigeria. And Very Dark Man on the other end is saying that bring back our girls, that we really need to know if the president of Nigeria is truly alive. If he is alive, let him bring back our girls. And now the Senate president of the National Assembly came out to say that other communities or other societies do have this kind of crimes. And I'm just going to start with you, Sharon. By the way, joining me in the studio is two beautiful ladies ready to dissect this issue with me. I have my co-host, Sharon and Chukwu, in the studio. Good afternoon, Sharon. How are you doing this afternoon? And I equally have Genevieve Okeke joining us in the studio. Good afternoon. How are you doing this afternoon? All right, so I'm starting with you, Sharon. What is your take? We saw those three videos, which is the crime, bring back our girls, and the insecurity currently in Nigeria. What's your take on that?
It's just the same. I just think it is really terrible that we are facing this at this point. We've always combated bad governance, bad leadership, just the lackadaisical attitude which these leaders rule, and they do, or they make decisions that affect us. We tend to always just see that the free hand with which they do that, and I just really think it is unfair, not just for the fact that we don't deserve this as a nation, but even as people. I don't think this is something that any human being, no matter the nation, should be going through. The issue of terrorism is not something that started last night or this Monday after the Kebbi girls were abducted. This is something that has been ongoing for years, but it just seemed as though the government was just very comfortable as long as it was us, just us complaining. And now that every other eyes, people, international bodies and other countries are paying attention, they want to act like they care, and I just think that is hypocritical, that is unfair, and that is really insensitive.
Okay, now coming to you, Ms. Genevieve, you could see clearly how the government is making every attempt to defend the fact that there is no genocide attack, that rather is extremist and the rest of them. And you've seen Nigerians, you've seen the pulse of Nigerians. You are equally a Nigerian. I want you to speak as a Nigerian with all this insecurity going on in the north and the entire Nigeria.
Well, it is definitely, I'm going to definitely say that the government is totally blind. You know, for them to say that there's no genocide in Nigeria, they don't have eyes. They have never had one, because if they had, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. Just like Sharon said, this thing is not something that started today. It has been happening a long time, but because of how calm and nonchalant and negligent that our government are, this is now very serious right now. And as a Nigerian, I am very pained. I don't even know what to say, how to express myself. I am very, very, very saddened. Imagine the Senate president coming to say that it happens in other societies. What arrant nonsense? What kind of statement is that? It's very, very painful, to be honest. All I can keep saying here is I'm not happy. And just like Very Dark Man stated, he said we should go and get guns. That's the only way, to protect yourself, because these people don't care. They don't care, and it is until someone in the comment section said it is until we want to start scrutinizing, getting these people's family members, maybe they'll start killing them one by one and send it to them. Maybe they can feel the pain that we are feeling as Nigerians.
It may seem as though they are not feeling the pulse of Nigeria, and it's quite insensitive and quite, terrible and sad to hear. But let's move over to the second story. Now, a federal high court in Abuja has sentenced a senior commander of the Islamic State West African Province, ISWAP, Hussein Ismaila, to 20 years in prison. The convicted terrorist was found guilty of coordinating multiple deadly attacks across Kanu State, including assaults on police stations and security formations. Now, the judge ordered that the 20-year sentence will take effect from 2017, the year he was arrested. In a notable move, the court also directed that Ismailia must undergo de-radicalization and rehabilitation. Now, this particular story, I saw it, I'm like, what is this? What is this? We are seeing people die on daily basis. We are seeing communities, churches being burnt, and we were able to actually get or arrest one of these prosecutors or one of these terrorists, and we are sentencing, the judiciary is sentencing him to 20 years imprisonment. And I'm going to come right at you, Sharon. Why did it take 8 years from 2017 to 2025 before the ISWAP commander was finally sentenced? And does starting the 20-year sentence from 2017 reduce the impact of the punishment?
I don't know why it took that long. So later today, we are going to see the ruling. Already we know that Nnamdi Kanu has already been charged to the terrorism case against him, right? We don't know what that looks like, the sentencing, we really can't tell, but we know that by the end of the day, we're going to see what that looks like. And I think that's what a lot of people are waiting for. So 20 years imprisonment, 20 years sentence. And it's not like our death penalty has been scrapped from Nigerian law. We have Mr. Sunday, who in defense, where he was being attacked, trying to save his farm, and he defended himself and killed a Fulani herdsman, was sentenced to death by hanging, was sentenced to death. Now we have an ISWAP leader that they say allegedly is the ISWAP leader, right? Because I still feel that the main leader is out there. But they have someone that they can hold, and you're giving them 20 years imprisonment, and they need to be rehabilitated and all of that. I just, when you want to see the full power of the law, right, in Nigeria, this is one of those cases. This is really insensitive. 20 years imprisonment does not cut it at all.
Exactly.
He didn't say life imprisonment, which I really think is not even enough. I think death penalty. So to come out and see 20 years, I just don't, I really don't understand what to say about that.
Okay. Now, yeah, it's really hard to really explain why he was sentenced to just 20 years when we have other, penalties, other strict penalties. But let me come right at you, Ms. Genevieve. Now, you've seen the charges against him. You've seen how many years he was sentenced. Do you think that it is actually right, despite the severity of the charges against him? So sad. So sad.
I did a little research, and it states terrorists who kill people face severe penalties, including life imprisonment or the death penalty. So how is 20 years accountable for people that has died since how many years? Wait, how many years? From what year?
2017.
Imagine from when did they start this, and they're giving him 20 years for people that died, for thousands of people that have died. If allegedly he is the leader, the weight is supposed to be cumbersome. I mean, he's the head, so he's supposed to face, like, it's supposed to be death immediately. Okay. And imagine a Fulani man that was doing self-defense was struck to death by hanging, and somebody that is a leader of a terrorist group is given 20 years.
Such injustice.
I'm feeling for the victims, the family of the victims who have lost people through this terrorism. How do they feel when they hear all this nonsense?
No, Sharon, the Brigadier General who was murdered of recent was actually murdered because of the fact that he gave the military men directive to shoot on sight any terrorist that they see, any terrorist attack or any terrorist attack, and they came right back at him, and he was gruesomely murdered. I believe everybody saw that on social media, how he was murdered. And do you think that these trials encourage more terrorists to surrender, or will it push them into deeper hiding?
Definitely pushing them into deeper hiding. I just don't think if I was a terrorist, I would be afraid of being caught. Because at the end of the day, I know that my sentencing will be tried with care and with mercy.
Yes.
The Nigerian government has proven over time to be very merciful to these bandits and to these terrorists. So as a terrorist, if God forbid, if I was a terrorist, I wouldn't be scared of being caught. It would just be a matter of time, right? I can't lose both ways. Keep doing what I'm doing. If I'm caught, okay, 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, and I'm out. So I really don't think it is going to be a big deal for them. They're not frightened by the Nigerian government.
Exactly. I think the entire judicial system should actually be revamped. If you are to ask me, there should be serious punishment meted out to these hardened criminals, because for me, I feel like there is no repentance for them again. But let's move over to the third story. Now, the National Judicial Institute, NJI, has dismissed circulating claims that Nigerian judges sang the political anthem on "Your Mandate We Shall Stand" at the opening of the 2025 All Nigerian Judges Conference. Now, videos trending online suggested judges performed the song associated with President Bola Tinubu, prompting public outrage and accusations of partisanship. Let's take a look at the video. From rebuttal, the NJI says no judges sang any political song. According to the Institute, the tune heard in the viral video was played solely by the Guards Brigade Band, which traditionally provides ceremonial music when the president arrives at official events. Judges, they say, stood briefly out of respect for the office, not in political solidarity. Now, the Institute added that the national anthem was the only song sung collectively by the judicial during the ceremony. Now, sparked a lot of endless reactions on social media. It's as if though people have lost trust and confidence in the judicial system, and this particular video further kind of proves that. But let me ask you, Ms. Genevieve, should political songs be allowed at judicial events even if played by a military band?
Well, political songs.
Yes, right? On your mandate we
should remain in the political campaign now.
Thank you.
So what is it doing in the judiciary court or wherever they're having a judiciary meeting? They should focus on what they came to do, which is the rule of law and judiciary consult. Anything that involves political stuff should be done during campaign or political meetings. It's that simple.
Exactly. Now, I'm coming to you, right, Sharon? Now, this video, like I said earlier, has sparked a lot of reactions, and people are already questioning the justice system or the judiciary incompetence, or rather competence in, meting out judgment. And I'm just going to ask you, do you think this particular song was befitting for this kind of occasion?
Starting from the Edo State governor, who made it mandatory for the executives of the APC to wear the Tinubu hat, the Tinubu cap, the Asiwaju cap, and if you don't wear it in Edo State, you would be suspended. I think there is a huge punishment for not wearing that, just so they can stand in solidarity with the presidency. Now, we are seeing the change of our dear national anthem to this new national anthem, which I am not a fan of. I really prefer my old national anthem, and we'll sing that. Now, you're not at an APC event. Let's also not forget the fact that Nyesom Wike the other day gave the judges in Abuja an estate sort of list of apartments, so that even after they are out of office, they can still lay claim. That is going to be their properties, and he's saying this is all part of, you know, Asiwaju's plan and all of that. I just don't think it makes any sense. You're at a judiciary event, right? And you're playing the Asiwaju anthem, which I know became popular during his time of campaign. You are done campaigning, you have won the election, you are now the president. Do you want that to become the anthem? Why is that side by side with the national anthem? Exactly. I just think that political issues or political or party politics, right, should be played within parties. If you are the APC National Secretariat, you can play that. Exactly. At a national event, but
do you think rather that the judicial system is now playing to the gallery of the president?
There will have to be cases. We have seen a lot of situations where it looks like that, right? There are so many rulings that are inconsistent, especially with the law. And even with, we want to look at what's going to happen later today with the Kanu's case. But yes, it has been looking that way. And, you know, it is really sad that the last hope of the common man is looking to be infiltrated already by the executives.
Exactly. Let me just get your final comments.
Just to add to what Sharon said, I also feel like this is also Asiwaju's way of doing his campaign again for second tenure. He's like a parasite, eating small. What he's doing now, because I see no reason where and how his song concerns the judiciary meeting that they came to do. So this is also part of his preparation for 2027 election.
You know, that reminds me, when he was campaigning for 2023 election, he promised that he was going to change the national anthem, and he did right that he kept to that particular promise. And Nigerians still remember where he promised them that if they don't receive electricity, that he shouldn't be voted for 2027. I believe Nigerians could actually go back to that video and do the right thing. Yes, watch it and see what to do for 2027. Now we move now to a tragic story that has left many Nigerians heartbroken. Several prospective core members from Adeyemi Federal University of Education in Ondo State have died in a devastating road accident while on their way to the Gombe NYSC orientation camp. According to reports, the 18-seater bus conveying the young graduates crashed along the highway, claiming the lives of the driver and about 15 young Nigerians who were simply on their way to serve their country. Let's take a look. This incident has once again sparked national concern over the safety of corps members who are often required to travel long and dangerous distances to states far from home. It also raises renewed questions about the insecurity on Nigerian highways, the poor condition of our roads, and the lack of safe government-coordinated transportation for these young graduates. Now, many Nigerians on social media are calling for a complete review of the NYSC posting system, insisting that the lives of young people must not continue to be placed at risk in the name of national service. Now, may their soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Now, these core members, I believe, with excitement going to the Gombe orientation camp, NYSC orientation camp, didn't even have the mindset, or rather the idea, that they were actually going to meet their unfortunate death. Now, I'm coming to you, Sharon. Why are core members still required to travel extremely long distances for NYSC orientation without government provided safe transportation?
I think this is one of those things that has been left unattended to just because it has been in existence for the longest time since NYSC had, started. It is really sad to see this, and my heart really goes out to the families of these girls. An 18-seater bus, 16 dead, 2 severely injured. It means really the entire people that were in that bus, either lost their lives or died. And there is a picture I saw as well where their traveling bags were littered on the road. Just to think that few days ago, they packed those bags themselves. They bought the things for NYSC, and it was littered on the ground because they lost their lives. All for what? All for a country that does not send you? All for what, really? And NYSC tomorrow, there are still people that are on their way again to go to another state. They are telling me about intertribal connection and all of that, when the terrains are not safe, when there's no security provided for these people. Every single day on the road, you see politicians with their sirens and armored cars following and escorting the politicians. What stops those armored cars from following NYSC buses? Because that particular bus were just filled with NYSC coppers that were supposed to transfer them to where they were going to, and they had absolutely no security. But every single day you be hearing siren everywhere because somebody that has a local government position is walking around, is passing, and they would use siren and want to block your ears. But these are lives of Nigerians, the real Nigerians that we are supposed to be protecting and serving. These are the people that are just see their things laying littered on the ground, and we are going to move on from that to the next thing. How sad the nation.
So sad to be honest. My heart bled when I saw this particular video, and I'm like, when am I going to go to social media and at least be happy for once as a Nigerian? And I'm not even seeing that forthcoming. But let me just get your take on this. Do you think, Genevieve, that this whole NYSC scheme should be scrapped out completely?
This is where we would know if the government is actually working. Because if the government is working, if the government is concerned, the first thing they will do in this, because we are in a crisis. If Nigerians don't know, we are actually in a crisis, serious one, insecurity. So this is where the government will come in and be like, what is the essence of this NYSC when insecurity is going on?
Exactly.
When terrorism is destroying people, people are being killed, whether Christians or not, children are being kidnapped, for crying out loud. For crying out loud, small kids. So this is the time they're supposed to scrap out anyway. What are you using it? What are you using it to do? How much are you going to gain? Okay, look at those both brother girls or those. They just look at how their life is wasted. For what? Even if they want to do it, this is the time they will be like, stay in your state. There is nothing to go and correlate and mingle with anybody. There is nothing. When they are killing each other, there is nothing. NYSC need to look over this. I feel like they should keep it, maybe pause it until the government does something about the security issues in Nigeria.
Exactly. I think the government and NYSC is somehow complicit. I believe everybody at this point in time should be lending their voices. Celebrities are doing that. The international bodies are doing that. Where is NYSC in all of this? Kanu is equally insisting that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria, but where is the action? We are tired of talking. Where exactly is the action from the government? Where is the action from the security apparatus? Where is the action from every governor? Where is the action from the Senate House? It's really, really sad to see. Well, thank you so much, Sharon and Chuku, for lending your voice to the cause of this insecurity in Nigeria, and thank you to Genevieve. Now, to our viewers watching, thank you for joining. But if you're yet to lend your voice to the ongoing insecurity and genocide attack or terrorism in different parts of Nigeria, I don't know why you're still called a Nigerian. It is actually a shame, to be honest. At this point in time, everybody should actually cry out. Let's cry out and let something be done about this insecurity. It needs to stop immediately. But this is where we're going to call it a wrap on Acid Hot right here on Active Citizens. My name is Ifoma Oji, and I did this alongside Shara and Chuku and Genevieve. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the evening for more discussion on political issues. Do have a wonderful afternoon.